Welcome to another part where I explain how this hotend is actually working and why this big heatsink over here is that much important. If you missed the other videos, then check out my profile and have a look for this nice hotend and enjoy the other videos. So let's continue with this series. The nozzle is the part of the hotend which actually extrudes the filament. So you know that many people talk about nozzle changes and so on. So this thing will wear out, you have to change it. So now let's talk about the difference between all metal hotends and PTFE-lined hotends and why it is difficult or more difficult to change a nozzle on a PTFE-lined hotend than on a hotend which is an all-metal one. So to explain this, let us disassemble the hotend. So in a traditional PTFE-lined hotend, you have a PTFE tube which goes through your coupler and then all the way down to your nozzle. And that's the old-fashioned way. Yeah, so we take the PTFE tube and guide it all the way to the nozzle. And that is where the problem with nozzle changes start, because if you do not install the nozzle correctly, then you will have a little gap between your, oh come on, focus. Yeah, I guess that will work. Oh, so you will have a little gap between the PTFE tube and your nozzle, and that will cause a leakage. So the filament, which is melted inside of the heater block, will run out the side of the nozzle, and then you will have these lovely big blobs underneath. So that's the problem with the PTFE-lined hotends. So you must always be sure that your PTFE tube is directly connected or sits flush on the nozzle. And that's the most tricky part on changing this kind of nozzles on these hotends. Nowadays, there is no PTFE-lined hotend anymore. Nowadays, these parts are all metal. So you basically screw the nozzle until the metal part over here, and then there is no leakage at all, because there is no PTFE tube which can go up and down. And why this can go up and down? Because mostly, oh come on, mostly the coupler on the top is a little bit loose, and then it will pull out the PTFE tube. PTFE-lined hotends do also have one more negative point, and that's regarding the temperature. So what's the difference between an all-metal hotend and a PTFE-lined hotend regards to temperature? And that's it for this part. If you like this kind of tutorials, free models, and cool makes, then consider following, and I will see you in the next video.